There are no ghosts in our nursing home. There were no extraneous noises, visions, or other mysticism. But there are plenty of strange stories. There was a strange grandmother who lived in our poorhouse. She was already well over 80 years old, but she looked very youthful. I've never been sick. I'm always fit, active, friendly, energetic. Every day I got up and fixed my hair, such a tall round gully. Her hair was very long and thick. There was so much life in her, I would say, one can only envy. And she worked at our morgue. Yes, our nursing home has a room with a separate entrance on the street, which serves as a morgue. Well, not a real morgue, of course, but just a room where a deceased person is taken out until the staff of the city morgue arrives for him. A small room with a bench, a table with candles and church paraphernalia. Cozy and creepy. But, with a capacity of almost 400 people, such a room is necessary. The keys to this makeshift morgue were kept by our resident, Grandmother Marfa. She was considered the head and even sat in the aquarium on the phone. She was aware of all the affairs in the estate, something like a volunteer secretary. I must say that our living grandparents from the Department of Active Longevity are trying to do some kind of feasible work. Someone is watering the flowers, someone is helping in the kitchen, someone is a janitor or a gardener. Well, Marfa saw off the deceased on their last journey. She opened the morgue, lit candles, sat over the deceased and read prayers. If a person died at night, she could stay with him until morning. It was in the early 90s, they wouldn't allow it now. One day, clergymen from the local diocese came to the estate, which was especially fashionable at that time. Although the place is like this, people need the participation of priests especially. They walked around the whole territory, talked to the old people, and greeted Baba Marfa. Surprisingly, Father Matvi was acquainted with Marfa. The priest looked at her and said, "Are you at it again, Marfa? I warned you, look, you're going to finish playing." And he called the director of the poorhouse aside for a conversation. I don't know what they were talking about, but Martha was removed from the morgue and the keys were taken away. And Marfa began to get sick. She suddenly aged somehow. She became silent, angry, and quickly fell ill. Everyone thought he was going to die, but he wasn't coming out. They don't let her go. Marfa suffered for 3 weeks. She's covered in spots, lying and watching, silent. It was obvious that it hurt her, but she did not utter a word, did not moan even once. You need to say the last rites, call your father, and Marfa swears and hisses. Don't you dare call the priest. They called Father Matvi. He went up to Marfa and said, "Are you lying down? Well, lie down, lie down." He kicked everyone out of the room, stayed alone with his grandmother for a long time, then came out and said, "Don't visit her today. And don't give me anything if I ask for it." It's a strange order, of course. But they closed the door and told everyone on shift that, except for the doctor, no one should come in. Marfa died that night. That's such an unpleasant story. There were a lot of rumors and conversations going around the estate back then. That Marfa was also a witch, and that she had given her to someone, so she left after the arrival of the night shift. Nurses are different, maybe someone accepted. And the keys to the morgue were given to a young disabled man, Vasily. A handsome guy who has remained a child forever. Vasily took a responsible approach to his work and always knew on which floor he would be expected soon. I felt something. Sometimes he just walks down the hall, smiles, such a bright young man, greets the grandmothers, and they cross themselves to him. Go, Vajya, why have you come? It's too early for us. That's how we live.